So before I quit Fortnite competitive, I used to be heavily involved in the scene, playing for many years, getting myself 3.15k earnings, being top ADPI and OCE for quite a while, and just overall very active in the community, always seeing what's going on. And there's this one question and problem I always saw come up time and time again. How do I get refreshes in-game? I seem to just play in-game until I have no mats and end up dying because I just can't find anything, bro. Well, luckily for you, I remember two concepts that really helped me back in the day when I used to play. First of all, you probably have this really bad habit where you'll have really good loot and mats at the start of an in-game. So for the first couple moving zones, you will only focus on your rotates and positioning. And then at third moving zone, do you maybe start looking for a refresh once you have not so good mats, like 600 overall, which to most people would seem completely normal and acceptable, but if you're doing this, bro, you are heavily missing out on something. What you should be doing is always looking for a refresh from the start of the in-game until the end. Do you know what would happen if you had 900 mats overall at the start of an in-game, which is pretty good, but then you actually got a refresh capping your mats to 1500 overall at this point in the game? You then won't even need a refresh until one of the last moving zones, where it becomes super easy to get refreshes if you have some mats yourself, all because you were still looking for refreshes regardless of how much mats you had or what zone it was. Okay, that concept is good, but the second concept that I used back in the day helped me out a lot more. It's about understanding the average amount of mats of the lobby and at what point it starts getting easy to get refreshes. I remember back in the day in trios, I used to have a goal of, okay, if our team has 2700 mats overall at the start of an in-game, so 900 mats each on average and a piece of rotation, then we could play the in-game decently normally and passive-ish until like the third or fourth moving zone without needing a refresh. And then once we did get there deep into in-game, I knew it would become easy for us to get refreshes because we would still have some mats and be able to get refreshes on the struggling people around us. You have to realize that the first couple moving zones are the hardest to get refreshes in because most people have mats and are just trying to survive. So I would plan it out so that I had enough mats etc to get me through that stage where it was almost impossible to get a refresh. Then after that, we would naturally find other teams that are struggling with low mats etc and get a refreshes then. But hey bro, both these concepts are going to be completely useless to you unless you practice them and implement them, so go grind scrims with this advice in mind. You've just made it through the entire video, so you clearly want to go pro in Fortnite, meaning you might be interested in an hour-long one-on-one private coaching session with me where we go over exactly how you can go pro from where you're currently at in your Fortnite career. Just click the link in the description for more info.